Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. Anyone who spends much time around people living with dementia knows that sometimes their behavior is really out of character. Now, often it gets labeled as a behavior problem or something requiring behavior management. But I really think it's much more helpful to consider it as an out-of-character response, something that's totally different than the situation would normally warrant and different than they may usually have behaved in the past. How do you respond to out-of-character behavior? Often that gets people stuck. They feel like they're running into a brick wall and they freeze in the moment. They don't know what to do. One technique that's often helpful is to respond to an out-of-character response with another out-of-character response. Let me give you an example of this. I once took care of a man named Butch, who had basically two ways that he would communicate. He would either say, "Yeah," or he would say, "Argh!" And sometimes he would give you that growl and that steely-eyed look for no apparent reason. We couldn't figure out why he was upset and responding in that way. And instead of getting hung up on trying to figure out what he was saying, sometimes the more helpful thing was to do something totally incongruent with that behavior. Normally, if someone growls at you like that and looks like they're ready to rip your head off, you don't respond with laughter. That would be out of character. And yet that's exactly what I did in many situations. I'd be trying to assist him to get dressed, for example, and suddenly he'd say, "Argh!" And I'd just start laughing, and I'd say, "Well, that was almost scary." And he would start to laugh. Often people living with dementia are very emotionally labile. That means their mood can turn on a dime. And it only takes one little suggestion about the direction that things seem to be going, one suggestion about how they might need to be feeling, and they go that direction. So if someone's growling at you and you laugh, sometimes it's totally disarming. And they think they've done something funny, and that feels good. We all like to make others laugh. Sometimes that sort of out-of-character response to an out-of-character response is all it takes to move us in the right direction. Now, this is not an easy thing to do. This is something that takes practice and intent. But I hope the concept makes sense to you. So today, I invite you to consider interactions that you have with other people and how you might respond to something that feels out of sync or out of character with another out-of-character response that pivots things in a helpful direction. I hope that makes a difference for you and the people you serve, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.